Block 4. Resetting your thinking. You are not the problem. You are a process. You aren't stuck. You are forming. Everything happening now isn't the end, but a remelting. Crises amplify internal voices. When things aren't going well, when your familiar world crumbles, phrases like these start echoing in your head. I'm weak. I'm a failure. There's something wrong with me. I always mess things up and will continue to do so. And suddenly, you're not just in a difficult situation. You're trapped in a self-image that's destroying you. Therefore, our goal now isn't just to survive, but to reprogram your thinking. Understand this. You're not a problem to be fixed. You're a process following its own path. 1. Change the question. The old question that harms us. What's wrong with me? The new question that heals us. What is happening to me? The first diagnoses. The second opens possibilities. The first makes you judge yourself. The second helps you understand yourself. Try it right now. Instead of, I'm weak, say, I'm going through a difficult period. Instead of, I have no strength, say, my body is tired and needs a break. Instead of, I can't do anything, say, I'm at a point of restructuring. 2. Outcome-based thinking versus process-based thinking. We live in a culture of outcomes. Show your achievements. Who are you without success? How much did you earn? Where do you work? What did you do? But there's another way of thinking, process-based thinking. This is when you see not the destination, but the journey. You accept yourself in motion, not just at the finish line. You acknowledge, I am a person who learns, makes mistakes, gets up, walks again. This is the way of thinking of living, growing people. It forgives, supports, and gives a chance. Ask yourself, do you evaluate yourself based on the outcome or on the effort, courage, and journey? Exercise, a letter to your process self. Sit down and write a letter to yourself, but not as an adult, stern and demanding, but as a wise observer to your inner child. Example, you're going through something you've never experienced before. You're doing everything you can. Even if the outcome isn't visible yet, you're moving forward. I'm proud of you, not for the victory, but for the courage to be alive. Save this letter. Read it when you fall back into self-criticism. This will be your inner support. 3. Where do your broken beliefs come from? If you feel like there's something wrong with you, most likely you were taught this feeling. Perhaps you grew up in a family where making mistakes was shameful. You heard phrases like, you have to be the best, no one cares how you feel. You experienced rejection, comparisons, or pressure. And now, an inner critic lives inside you, activating whenever you're vulnerable. This critic is not you. It's just a voice from the past. It can be silenced. How to change your inner voice. 1. Notice it. Hear how it sounds. Examples. You always mess things up. Who needs you? You messed up again, like always. Second, challenge it. Is this true? Who told me this? Would I say this to a friend? 3. Replace it. Supportive phrases. I'm not in the best shape right now, and that's okay. I'm still a person worthy of love. I'm learning, and that's a victory already. 4. Acceptance is not surrender. One of the scariest moments is when we're afraid to accept ourselves in a crisis because we confuse acceptance with resignation and defeat. But in reality, acceptance, honest acknowledgement of the situation. Surrender, refusal to act. Acceptance means saying, yes, it's hard right now. Yes, I'm not perfect, and yet I'm moving forward. This is the start of recovery. 5. Replace price with value. Often we think, if I'm not useful, I'm not needed. If I can't give something, I'm worth nothing. This is thinking in terms of price. Instead, start thinking in terms of value. You are valuable, not because you produce results, but because you are a living person with a soul, pain, feelings, and stories. Just as a flower doesn't need to be useful to be beautiful, you don't need to be perfect to be valuable. Summary: you are not static, you are a process. Mistakes are not markers of your identity. They are stages of the journey. Your value isn't in your successes, but in who you are. You can live in honesty with yourself rather than under the weight of others' expectations. Ready for the next step? In Block 5, we'll go further. Block 5: how to restore meaning when everything seems meaningless. Where to find light when you see neither a goal nor direction. How to want to live, create, and move forward again, despite everything. Block 5: how to find meaning when everything seems meaningless. Meaning isn't something given to you. It's something you create within yourself, even when darkness covers the sky. Perhaps the most frightening part of a crisis isn't the pain, nor even the fear, but emptiness. When you wake up and don't understand why. When the whole world is gray. When familiar desires have vanished. When you look at life and feel no resonance. You ask yourself, what is all this for? Why get up? Where am I going? And this question strikes harder than any problem, because without meaning, everything else loses weight. And if you feel this way, you're not alone. This is part of the journey. And it's precisely in this emptiness that you can begin to build meaning truly. Not someone else's, not socially acceptable, but your own. 1. Acknowledge the emptiness. The first mistake is trying to fill the emptiness with anything. Activities, goals, series, noise. But meaning doesn't come where you pretend. Allow yourself to say, I don't understand why I'm living. I don't have a goal. I don't want anything right now. This is scary, but it's honest. And honesty gives birth to a chance. You see for the first time that old meanings have died. So it's time to give birth to new ones. 2. Meaning isn't a gift, it's a choice. Most people wait for meaning to find them. When I find my calling, I'll understand why I'm living. When I fall in love, everything will make sense. When I achieve success, then everything will fall into place. But meaning isn't found. Meaning is created. Meaning is what you choose to consider important. As Viktor Frankl, who survived a concentration camp, said, "He who knows why he lives can bear almost any how." Exercise. My meaning today. Try to ask yourself this question right now. What could be valuable to me even now in this state? Answers can be tiny. Talk to my brother. Write a few lines in a diary. Help someone else go through what I'm going through. Just live this day with dignity. This isn't high meaning for a lifetime. This is local meaning today, and it can save you. 3. Look back. When did you taste life? When everything loses meaning, it's important to remember. And when did you feel it? Remember. When did you feel inspired? When did you forget about time? When did you feel alive? These can be moments from childhood or from yesterday. It doesn't matter. They are like lighthouses, indicating here was the real you. Perhaps you sang, wrote, played, helped, built, communicated, read, learned, argued, or were silent. Write down these moments and ask yourself, what do they have in common? What did I do or feel then that I lack now? 4. Live not for a goal, but through meaning. Most people chase a goal. Find a job, earn money, buy things, achieve something. But when everything collapses, the goal disappears. Emptiness remains. meaning is different. It's not a result. It's the intention with which you walk the path. You can clean the floor and feel meaning if you do it to take care of yourself and your space. You can go to an unloved job and feel meaning if it helps you care for your family. You can simply be silent with a friend and feel meaning if there is trust between you. 5. Meaning can be quiet. In movies, meaning is loud, saving the world, a great discovery, a life mission. But real meaning is often silent. Placing a hand on a friend's shoulder, making tea for your parents, stroking a cat, reading a book that heals you, writing to someone. You are important, and in these small actions lies great depth. Meaning isn't always about heroism. Sometimes it's about kindness in the moment. 6. Create even if you don't feel like it. When there's no meaning, your hands drop. It seems, why do anything if it's all meaningless? But strangely enough, action gives birth to meaning, not the other way around. For example, you don't feel inspired, but you sit down to write, and after 15 minutes, something awakens. You don't believe in people, but you call a friend, and warmth appears in the conversation. You don't feel energy, but you go for a walk, and your body begins to wake up. Creation, meaning, movement, return. 7. Share yourself. When you're feeling bad, it might seem like you're not needed by anyone. But that's a lie. Your pain can become meaning, because having experienced it, you can be the one who understands another person. You can write an honest post. Share your story. Simply listen to someone. Volunteer. Create a channel, like you do, and inspire others. Sometimes meaning isn't finding the light, but being the light for someone in the dark. Let's summarize. Emptiness isn't the end. It's the beginning of new meaning. Meaning isn't a global answer, but small intentions every day. Don't wait for meaning. Create it. It's already somewhere nearby, in words, in care, in silence, in honesty. What's next? In Block 6, we'll talk about restoring resources. Block 6, how to fill yourself up when you're depleted. What to do if you're drained, if you have no strength for anything. How to re-engage with life when your battery is at 0. Block 6, how to replenish yourself when you're depleted. You're not broken, you're just tired. Right now, you don't need to rush into battle. You need to recover. When we fail, when plans fall apart, when it seems like everything is going wrong, we often react with internal burnout. Here are the signs. You feel nothing, not even from someone you love. You just stare at the ceiling and can't get up. You don't want to talk to anyone. You feel empty inside, as if everything has burned out. This isn't laziness. This isn't you're weak. It's a symptom of exhaustion. And it means you don't need to force yourself to live, but to learn how to replenish yourself. 1. Accept that you are depleted. It's honest, not shameful. The first step is to stop fighting yourself. You don't have to be productive 24/7. You don't have to constantly want things. You are a living organism, and it has limits, just like a phone's battery drains, so do your energy reserves. And if you acknowledge this, you've already begun the recovery journey. This isn't weakness, it's self-care. 2. Recovery begins with physiology. When it seems like it's all in your head, start with your body. Because the brain can't think when the body is depleted. Check your basic needs. Have you eaten? Not just coffee and a cookie, but real food. Have you drunk water? Dehydration intensifies anxiety. Have you slept enough? Not just passed out at night, but gotten a good night's sleep. Have you moved? Even a 10-minute walk revitalizes the nervous system. First, the body, then everything else. Exercise, the recovery ladder. Create your own recovery ladder from simple steps. Example: 1. Wash your face. 2. Drink water. 3. Take a shower. 4. Eat warm food. 5. Go for a walk outside. Turn off your phone for an hour. 7. Call a loved one. 8. Listen to music. 9. Do a breathing exercise. 10. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? The point isn't to do everything. The point is to choose one step and start with it. 3. Learn to not only give, but also receive. Very often, we burn out not from life itself, but from constantly giving. Energy, attention, help, effort. But we don't know how to receive. We don't know how to ask. We don't know how to stop. We don't know how to say, I can't right now. I'm tired. I need to recover. True strength is knowing how to accept support, even if it's simply accepting a compliment, allowing yourself rest, not responding to messages at night, asking for help. 4. Remove everything that burns you out. During periods of depletion, you shouldn't carry unnecessary burdens. Look at your life honestly. What is draining you? What conversations deplete you? What do you spend your time on that makes you feel worse afterward? Sometimes you need an information diet. Delete toxic social media. Limit contact with demanding people. Give up activities that need to be done, but exhaust you. This isn't selfishness, it's mental hygiene. 5. Small joys, great fuel. When you're at zero, don't wait for great inspiration. Focus on micro joys. They are subtle, but incredibly important. Examples: warm socks, a cozy blanket, delicious cocoa, a favorite melody, a movie that warms you, a dog dozing nearby, a child's laughter, the smell of rain. Words, you matter. Don't ignore this. This is the life you are trying to get back, not through great events, but through simple sensations. Exercise, list of fillers. Create a personal list of 10 to 15 things that fill you up. Here's a template. I feel a little better when listening to my favorite music, talking to someone who understands me, walking without headphones, drinking warm soup, writing down my thoughts in a notebook, drawing without purpose, being silent in stillness, stroking a cat, looking at old photos, recording voice notes for myself, dancing, even if it's awkward. Do at least 1 to 2 items a day. It's drip-by-drip recovery, but it works. 6. Not everything that is beneficial is right for you. Important, don't put more shoulds on yourself. Don't. Exercise if you can't get out of bed. Meditate if you're afraid to be quiet. Read self-help books if you're sick of the word achievement. Choose what brings you relief, not a feeling of, I haven't succeeded again. Let's summarize. Exhaustion isn't a sentence, it's a call for self-care. Start with the simple: body, food, water, silence. Replenishment isn't grandiose achievements, but micro joys. You don't have to be productive to be entitled to rest. You deserve support, even if you're just breathing. Block 7. How to start moving again, slowly but forward. This is the moment after emptiness, after pain, after you've at least gathered yourself a little. Now the question isn't how to run a marathon, it's how to simply take the first step. Even if you're walking very slowly, you're still outpacing those who are lying down and giving up. When you've been in a state of pain, exhaustion, or crisis for a long time, any movement forward feels like a monstrous effort. Your mind is filled with, I can't do anything. What if it doesn't work out again? It's too late. I don't have enough strength left. But the truth is that big changes begin small, and every movement has its own speed. It's not about how fast you're moving. It's about moving. 1. The 1% a day principle. Forget about sudden bursts. Forget about starting on Monday. The secret to sustainable movement is 1% progress every day. What does that mean? Not 2 hours of sports, but 5 minutes of exercise. Not 20 tasks, but 1 task completed. Not 50 pages, but 5, but with attention. Not a new life, but a little more self-care than yesterday. 1% seems insignificant, but after a month, it's 30% progress. And in a year, it's a new you. 2. Create rituals, not goals. Goals are pressuring. Rituals are supportive. Instead of, I have to become successful, tell yourself, every morning, I do 3 minutes of silence. Every evening, I thank myself for something, no matter how small. Every day, I write down 1 thought that's important to me. Every week, I read 1 article that expands my horizons. Rituals are foundations. Goals are expectations. Choose what helps you be, rather than demanding from yourself. 3. Work with your inner critic. At the beginning of movement, your inner voice will inevitably surface. This is all nonsense. You'll never change. Who needs this? You tried it before, and it didn't work. This voice isn't your enemy. It's your protector from pain. It's afraid you'll be disappointed again, but you can calm it. Example of an inner dialogue. Critic, you're not going to succeed again. You, maybe, but I'll try a different way. This time, slowly and with care. Critic, this isn't working. You, possibly, but as long as I'm doing something, I'm alive. This isn't a battle, it's a new alliance with yourself. 4. Accept that setbacks are part of the journey. You will inevitably stumble, get tired, fall into apathy. And that's okay. Success isn't always moving forward. Success is always returning to yourself after a pause. Don't punish yourself for setbacks. Don't say, it's all for nothing. Just start again, from where you are now. 5. Build micro-supports. The journey isn't sustainable for someone who walks alone without support. Find your micro-supports. People you can simply be with. Music that reminds you of yourself. A channel or blog that inspires you. Cards with reminders. You don't have to be strong. Right now isn't forever. Slow is also movement. Each such reminder is like a handrail on a staircase. Exercise. My list of small victories. Write down 10 things you've already done, no matter what. And even if they seem insignificant to you, write them down. Examples. Woke up without an alarm today. Didn't yell at myself in my head. Went outside despite feeling lazy. Didn't compare myself to others. Listened to what I felt. Recorded this video. Watched this video until the end. Didn't fall into self-criticism. Acknowledged, I'm struggling, and didn't condemn myself. This is building yourself, not on achievements, but on honesty and returning to yourself. 6. Move, not for ideal, but for meaning. You don't have to prove to the world that you're worth something. You don't have to achieve something great. You can simply walk the path that resonates with you. Do what matters to you. Be the person you want to be, not for judgment, but for yourself. Movement built on meaning is always stronger than movement built on fear. Summary. Movement starts not with a burst, but with a 1% effort. Build rituals, not goals. Talk to yourself, don't fight. Setbacks are part of the process. Return. Move at your own pace, without comparison, without a race. The most important thing is not to stop forever. Even if you're crawling, you're moving. Ready for the finale? There's one last concluding block. Block 8. You are not alone. Your pain matters. Your story matters. How to not get lost in loneliness. Why you matter, and how to make your story a source of light. Excellent. We've reached the final block. This isn't just an ending. It's a return to yourself. Block 8. You're not alone. Your pain matters. Your story matters. Sometimes, to avoid going crazy, you just need to hear, you're not alone. If you're watching this video, chances are you've been through darkness. Maybe you are in it right now. Maybe you're already getting out. Or maybe you just want to know, is everything okay with me? Let me tell you straight. Yes, it's okay. Yes, you are not alone. Yes, you are needed, even in this state. 1. Everyone has their own darkness. But loneliness is an illusion. We often feel, something is wrong with me. Everyone else is succeeding, except me. But the truth is different. Someone you know is crying into a pillow right now. Someone with a perfect life lives with anxiety. Someone smiles, but feels empty inside. You don't see other people's pain, because we all hide it. But it's there. And what you're feeling right now is part of the human experience. This doesn't make you broken, it makes you alive. 2. Support exists, and you have the right to seek it. It's hard to be alone. Too hard. If we didn't have a language to call for help, we would have died out long ago. You have the right to. Ask for help. Say, I'm feeling bad. Share, even if it's awkward. Cry, even if you were taught to hold on. One of the strongest steps is to open up when you're afraid. And you don't have to open up to everyone. Choose one person, or write, or just talk to yourself out loud. Loneliness begins to recede when you allow yourself to be heard. 3. All your pain matters. You aren't exaggerating. You aren't supposed to cope. You aren't overacting. Everything you feel is real. Everything that happened to you was important. Everything you've been through matters. Your pain is not weakness, it's your depth. And if you've gone through it, even if it was crawling, it doesn't make you a victim. It makes you alive and real. 4. Your story can become light for others. Maybe you don't see it yet. But your path, even if it's full of pain and darkness, can one day become a landmark for another person. You experienced loneliness, and one day you'll hear someone else who is in it. You went through nothing is working, and one day you'll support someone who gives up. You recovered from emptiness, and one day you'll say, I know what that's like. You don't even realize how important you are, even when you don't believe it yourself. Exercise. A letter to your future self. Close your eyes. Imagine you are your future self. In 1 to 2 years, you've come out of the darkness. You found the strength. You recovered. Maybe not perfectly, but you're alive. Now write a letter to your present self. What would you say? Example. Hi. I know how hard it is for you. I remember every day when you wanted to give up. But know this, you'll make it. I'm proof of that. Just don't give up. Don't rush. Don't wait for miracles. Just breathe. Believe me, one day you'll look back and say, thanks for not giving up back then. Final words. Dear friend, if you've watched this video to the end, it means there's something strong inside you. Even if you don't feel it, you haven't broken down yet. You're not alone anymore. You've already started your journey. I don't know who you are, but I know one thing. The world becomes better when people like you stay. You're needed. You matter. You're not a mistake. And if right now you're standing on the edge, Know that there is life beyond that edge. Yours, real, meaningful. You're not alone. Thank you for being here. If this video resonated with you, share it. Maybe someone needs to hear this right now. Maybe you're the spark they've been waiting for. See you later. Take care of yourself. You'll make it. Motivational speech. How to think like a legend and achieve the impossible. The winner is not someone who has never fallen. It's the one who got up every time he fell. Today you will find out what distinguishes the winners from all the others. It's not just strength, talent, and luck. This is thinking. The winner is born not in the Hall of Fame, but in the head. Right now, we will analyze how the real winner thinks and how you can develop this thinking. 1. The winner sees the goal clearly. Arnold Schwarzenegger said, "You can't get to the place if you don't know where you're going." He knew from his youth he would become a world champion in bodybuilding, then an actor, then by the governor. Sounds crazy? Yes, but he saw the target, clearly. Every day he lived as if it was already reality. The winner is not rushing. He says, "I want it. I'll get it. I'm already on my way." Your task today is to write your goal. Not common, not, "I want to be successful." Write specifically, where do you want to be in 5 years? Who are you? What do you have? 2. The winner is a workaholic. Kobe Bryant got up at 4 a.m. to train while others were sleeping. He said, "I train while you sleep. I'm training while you're resting. I win because I sacrifice." The winner is the one who works when no one is watching. He doesn't need applause. He does what is necessary. Every day, even when you don't feel like it. Are you ready to work in silence? Ready to give up parties, distracting TV series, procrastination for the sake of your goal? If so, you're already becoming a winner. 3. The winner accepts the pain. Will Smith said, "On the treadmill, either I'll die or you'll give up before me." It's not about sports, it's about the installation. The winner doesn't run away from pain, he's going to meet. Because pain is growth. Fear, he's coming to meet. Failure, he's learning. Tired, continues. When it's hard for you, know, this is the moment when your strength is born. 4. The winner is responsible for everything. Jocko Willink, a former U.S. Marine, says, "You are the only one who is responsible for your life. Always." The winner does not blame circumstances, people, or fate. He says, "If something is wrong, I'll fix it. I take responsibility." It's tough. It requires maturity, but it makes you strong. 5. The winner is constantly learning. Elon Musk reads 2 books a week. Oprah Winfrey says that knowledge is power. The winner does not consider himself achieved. He pumps himself every day. Books, trainings, mentors, mistakes, all in the business. Ask yourself, what did I learn this week? What mistakes did I sort out? What skills did you develop? 6. The winner is patient. Success doesn't come tomorrow, sometimes not in a year, but it comes to those who don't stop. Denzel Washington once said, "Dream on a large scale, but be ready to go for it in small steps every day." The winner is not looking for quick results. He plays long, systemically, persistently. Final, you already have everything to become a winner. Listen carefully. You don't have to be perfect. He doesn't have to be the smartest. But you have to be disciplined. I have to not give up. He has to believe, even when everyone around says no. You are the winner, not when you reach the goal, and when he chose the way. Make a choice, and become this choice every day. Conclusion. Look at yourself in the mirror. This is a person who is capable of more, not because of talent, and because of the choice. Today you decide to be like everyone else or become a winner. The choice is yours. Share your goal in the comments and start acting today. Subscribe if you want more motivation. And remember, you were not made to survive. You are made to win.